Hi, this video is about 6 things that I'm grateful for in first world countries and other things I'm grateful for in general. Okay, number 1, modern plumbing. This might not seem obvious, or you might not have thought about it before, but modern plumbing is very convenient and also very good. So if you go to a poorer country, for example, you might not see Western toilets, and I appreciate Western toilets very much. And especially too, you might not find a toilet that actually has a self-flush capability, where you pull the lever down and it flushes. You might have to manually flush a toilet by pouring water into it. So that's quite good, quite convenient for me. And yeah, a lot of countries only have squatting toilets, and I don't like those very much. So in general, I'm very grateful for that in modern countries. Okay, number 2 is drainage systems. So, and I'm talking about mainly drainage systems along roads. And having a good drainage system is very important to prevent flooding. And I experienced one place in the Philippines where it started raining, and not even raining that much, but one of the roads I was on basically turned into a river, and that made me realize how important good drainage is, because without it, roads might turn into rivers, and that's not a good thing. Okay, number 3, foods that are safe to eat and or good food regulations, and actually fair food regulations. So if you go to some countries, for example, if you eat street food in some places, it might be quite risky to do so, and that might not be regulated really at all. And sometimes vendors will use very unhealthy products. For example, really bad cooking oil, very unhealthy cooking oil. And so in first world countries, that would happen far less. And if somebody caught someone doing that, the police might give them a big fine or something like that. Okay, number 4 is freedom of travel. So I've been to many countries around the world, but I've also learned that in some countries, in the country itself, the citizens don't have very much freedom to travel, or it's quite cumbersome for them to travel, especially abroad. So one thing I know, for example, is for mainland Chinese people, they actually need an exit visa. And when I was in China talking with somebody, I had never heard of an exit visa before. And I think it's quite unfortunate that you need permission to leave your own country. But some countries have that, and yeah, I'm quite grateful that I don't need one, but in first world countries, or specifically I don't need one in first world countries, so that's quite good. Okay, number 5, some guarantees of quality of goods you buy, and you can be quite, you can have a lot of confidence that the goods are actually genuine, and there's intellectual property protection. So if you go in a lot of poorer countries, there definitely will be a lot of fake products. Some examples I can give are in Cambodia and Vietnam, you'll find fake products everywhere. And in China, they're like the champions of counterfeit. They can basically reverse engineer almost anything. And you can, sometimes I've heard in China, you can actually be in a nice mall and go in a shop that actually ends up selling you fake goods, or it's a knockoff. But in some countries, for example, though, if you go to Hong Kong, they actually like the police will punish people probably with a fine if they get caught selling fake goods. And of course, in a lot of other first world countries, just the police and others make sure that fake goods aren't so prevalent. Okay, and the last one is rule of law. And this also is something I took for granted before, not only being in first world countries. So, for example, having fair trials and non-corrupt police, this is a very important thing for a society, I think. And if you don't have fair trials, that's it's a very bad thing in my opinion. So those were my 6 things that I'm grateful for in first world countries and other things I'm grateful for. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and see me in the next video. Thanks.